Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 18 preview. We're going to go over trade plans, and we'll go over captaincies, potentially vice captaincies, but there might only be one option this week. But we'll have a closer look. We'll discuss team lists. There's been a couple of sneaky options come through, but we'll talk first about trades. So we've already done our initial trade of Josh Schuster up to Bryn Nakora. Now, I talked about it before that if Ali Katoa is still not named, which he isn't, bro, Ali Katoa is still not named. He's not even on the extended bench. I mean, my God, man, what an absolute disastrous trade Ali Katoa has been. Like, this is fucking the worst trade in all existence right here. But I was thinking that, if Katoa is not named, do I potentially just hold Schuster and just trade Katoa up? But I looked at Schuster's break even is like over 60 now. He's already bled a little cash. I mean, he's made, what is he? What did he start at? I don't know. He's made about 200k, I think. Got some handy points when needed. I think it's just a great time to get rid of Schuster. He's obviously going to have the odd game where he goes big, but for one, he doesn't play round 19 anyway, so you're very rarely going to play Schuster unless you really need to. And if you really need to play Schuster, you're in big trouble. Without Tommy Trbojevic there, I mean, Ruben Garrick on the fullback will probably help him maybe, but he isn't Tom Trbojevic. So, the danger of a Trbojevic out the back just left Schuster so much more time and space, but without that, he's just, and also, I mean, with the Luke Brooks signing, Schuster is, reportedly going to go back into the back row next year. So I don't know. Does he? Who knows how he's going to play for the remainder of the year? Now, what do we do with Ali Katoa? So there's been some big news coming out of the Broncos, and not good news, but that is Flegler is gone for. I'll have to double check on this because I know the initial reports were apparently backwards, where I think Flegler has gone for more time and I think they're both, like, Ricky and Flegler, I think, are both gone for fairly lengthy stints, but I'm not exactly sure on how long. I'll have to double check on that, but they're both gone for an extended period. Obviously, Capel's gone for a couple more weeks, which leaves Britain, not Britain. I was thinking of Brenton Nakora, but no, Brendan Piakora. He has got that starting edge back row spot still. He's about 280,000, and he should have it locked up. Now, the one, I guess, potential issue is the other young gun, Xavier Willison, is on the other edge, but to start with, Piakora was obviously the next man in line for an edge spot, and he is a natural back row. Willison is more of a middle forward, so he might not even start in the back row come game day. But I guess, if it does end up like that, Willison and Piakora do start in the back row for the next couple of weeks until at least Capel is back. If Piakora doesn't really kill it, and Willison on the other hand does, there's every chance that maybe Capel takes over Piakora's spot, but I sort of doubt that. I do doubt that because obviously Piakora is a natural back rower. He's been heavily touted. I have the look at his scores. We'll have a quick gander. So Ali Katoa, going down to him is sort of what I'm thinking. I mean, if I look, and that's the thing, like, granted, it's as like a stubbornness, I'm like, I don't want to get rid of Katoa after everything that's happened, but at the end of the day, my back row now, Bateman, Horsburgh, Hopgood, Nakora, Cartwright, and Fafita, we're definitely going to get Fafita back in after Origin, so we'll need to get rid of somebody anyway. It's stacked. It's a stacked back row, so we don't actually need Ali Katoa at this point anyway. He is nice to have, and he would be lovely as a pod if he did come back, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I might look it up to see if there's any sort of news about how long he's set to miss, because he obviously did damage to the eye itself, so that's why he's out for so long. But you know, I also mentioned in the last video that we're probably getting to about that stage of the season where downgrading one of these, you know, 400 to 600k guys to enough cheapy is looking, you know, more and more likely, or not likely, but it's getting to the point where it's much more feasible. It's much more suitable to do, because we will need money at the end of the day to bring back Cleary, Fafita, and then any other, I guess, luxury trades to bring back. So if we look at trading Eli Katoa for, I keep wanting to say Nikora. I don't know why the names aren't similar, but they sort of Brendan Nikora or Brendan Piakora. I mean, they are similar, aren't they? I keep wanting to say it, dude, because I keep looking at fucking Nikora right there on my screen. But let's have a quick look, because I know his scores haven't been great. His like Queensland Cup scores, he's been really good. Like, he's averaged, I think, high 60s, just really solid, with obviously upside, attacking upside. But he's gone up. Okay, so he didn't start bottom dollar anyway, but he's gone up to 290k. His few games, like, he played 50 minutes for 15 points, 50 minutes for 30 points. They're not good there, but they just weren't good games. Like, I know in one, I think the New Zealand game, for whatever reason, he had a bunch and like a heap of missed tackles, just didn't have a good game. Then in round 15, he had a bit of a stint off the bench. He looked really good in that game. Actually, he made a line break. Did he score a try? I don't know. He looked good though. And then against the Gold Coast, he played 80 minutes for 48 points, which is okay. You know, 48 points, 40 to 50 points for a tick under 300k back rower. It's pretty solid. And he's got, you know, he does have the seemingly long-term potential to make some cash. So the only thing I want to mention about Piakora, for people that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna look to bring him in, because at the end of the day, like, I guess if you really need that 90k difference, then sure, go for a absolute bottom dollar cheapie. But if you can just spend 90 more thousand to get Piakora, who should make good money, he's got like a negative break even this week, obviously. He should be starting in the back row for the foreseeable future in a good Broncos team. He's got attacking upside. He's not going to be a base stat monster, but he can, I think he could dish out a couple of decent scores, so he could make money on top of it. But the thing you got to remember, if you're bringing him in, you probably have to factor in that you're going to get him, and then you'll probably have to trade him out at some point, because if not, I mean, you could just hold him, I guess, but that would be a bit of a waste, because he's going to make money, and then when they're fully fit, when Ricky comes back, Capel's back, he'd probably go back to the bench and then bleed all the cash he's made. So just factor that in if you bring Piakora in. Again, you don't have to trade him out if he starts losing cash, but for one, he'll be an AE nightmare if he does come off the bench for 20 minutes, so it'll be tougher to loop, and he'll lose all the cash he makes. So it's advisable that you plan for trading him out. Now, ideally, to sort of save us a trade, so to speak, we'll make a bunch of money on this trade if Piakora can just get a few decent attacking games and make some good coin. Potentially going Piakora up to David Fafita after Origin, that would be ideal. But let's do that trade for now, because again, I was definitely looking at a cheapie in the coming weeks anyway, and I think this is just it's a little too good to pass up, I think, for the time of the year. Like, I don't think it's a slam dunk pick, but I do like it. So now we've got a tick under 300k. So if we work out, so Piakora just under 300k. So if we trade him up now, we're sitting at, you know, a little bit under 600k. So for Feeder, if you look at Fafita briefly, And again, we got to factor in, we're trying to get in Cleary as well. Fafita is 850,000. So 850,000, it'd be about 560. 560, let's say, for if we traded what's his face? Fucking Piacora now. So we do have to make a decent amount. 300,000 for that. So not easy, but if Piacora can jag a few attacking stats, I doubt he's not going to make 300,000. So I don't think we're going to go like straight up to Fafita. But then also Fafita, he did come out with a big one last week, but he does still, I think his break even's 150. So if he can just, he doesn't even have to go terrible. If he just gets like 60, 70 points, he's going to drop another, I don't know, 50k maybe. And then after Origin, if he doesn't, play 80 minutes after game 3, you can't rely on that, but it could be more around that 200,000 we have to make, which is very doable. And then if we look at Cleary, so Johnson at the moment 800k. What is Cleary? I actually don't even. He's probably still like 900,000. Would he be? He's only 850. So as long as Johnson doesn't shit the bed and continues his decent run, like he's got what, 4 tons? Has he had 4 tons in a row? Like, he should still have 3 tons in a row. He had a 39 previously, but 3 tons in a row. So he's low. He should have a really low break even. He does have some tough games coming up, but if he can just hold his price, and he's obviously going to go up a little bit, but if he can just stay around that 800 to 850, then trading him off to Cleary should be a pretty easy sideways move. And then, yeah, it's pretty much just going one of our back rows up to Fafita. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be Piacora. It'd be nice to, because then we would have just an insanely stacked second row, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It could be Piacora going down to another cheapie, someone like a Jack Howarth, who's dual center wing second row, just for that flexibility. A bottom dollar cheapie, that'll net us, depending Piacora's price, but he should get up to 400. Let's say Piacora gets up to like 400k, right? If we go down to Howarth, who's probably 200k, that's 200k right there. And then going up to Fafita, we should be able to scrape it, but that depends. And the other position, I mean, trading out, again, we don't want to make too many nuffs in the team, because we also have Fainu, which is a bit of an annoying one, but it's not the worst in the world. But a center wing, Taruva, Croker, Billy Smith, all these guys, just they can go at some point. I mean, I'm not gonna lie as well. So Johnston's 600k. He's been brought up a couple of times, but Joseph Suoli'i is back from suspension. He's returning on the wing, which is definitely his better position. We're unsure if he's going to goal kick. He might not. I mean, Sanders Smith has been pretty okay. So do they give Suoli'i the goal kicking back? I mean, he's not going to be there next year anyway. So what? I don't know. Depends. I mean, Suoli'i is pretty decent, but if he is goal kicking, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Johnston obviously plays next week, so I'm not going to trade him next week. Because if we look at the Roosters, what do the Roosters do? They got Manly this week, so I mean that game could go anyway. I don't know. That's a very that's a very tough game to pick, honestly. I'd probably go Manly in it. They don't play 19, and then it's a tough backup against Melbourne. And then they have Gold Coast, Broncos, Manly, Dolphins. I'm not gonna lie, dude. If Suoli'i doesn't, and he won't go up a lot, like I don't know what his break even is, but it can't be like too low. He's a tick under 400k. If he does maintain the goal kicking, man, going Johnston after round 19, because Johnston, yeah, like they play the Warriors this week, then the Bulldogs in the bye. They don't play round 20, and I think round 20 I was sort of looking at trading Johnson anyway. They do have a decent run home, like Dragons and Newcastle Roosters, but they don't play round 26. Yeah, I do think Johnston is probably a sell, but I mean, Latrell Mitchell could be back. I don't know. It is a little bit risky, I guess. But I don't know. I've sort of been eyeing it off. But I guess at the end of the day, we could just trade a Taruva, a Croker, Billy Smith maybe. But he's not going to make us too much cash. But there's definitely options. And Siwali is definitely a guy like I wouldn't hate. But we'll see. We'll see this week to see if he's goal kicking. If he's goal kicking on the wing at like under 400k, it'd be very tempting. It'd be very tempting to downgrade if Johnston. Hopefully Johnston doesn't bleed too much cash in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully he can jag a big one. He's probably got a pretty decent break even, or pretty high, I should say, with a 45 and a couple of low scores lately. But yeah, that's the plan. I think Piakora is just yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have kept Katoa, but I think this is just the better option. Yeah, I think it just is really. And then. Okay, so I think that's done for the trades, and I've sort of talked about future planning. There's not too, again, Fafita is a definite, Nathan Cleary is a definite. They're the two definites, and then I guess Munster, maybe. I mean, even fucking like swinging Joey Manu back to center, trading Johnston for Cameron Munster after round 20. Don't mind that either, because Cameron Munster is a pretty decent price. He's not even 700k, so but that would also mean a little bit more money has to be allocated. So we're going to be pushing it tight, but you know we got plenty of team value to sort of work with, I guess. But yeah, Cameron Munster, another sort of luxury trade. I don't think he's that necessary if Manu and Cody Walker continue the form, because I don't know, any of them can go big on their day. Cameron Munster probably is a little bit more consistently good, but he sort of rarely, because I just want to have a quick look. I feel like Munster, he rarely goes absolutely massive. He's more of that guy that just always gets 80s to 100, not so much like 120 plus. I could be wrong. His highest score, 124. Yeah, I mean, he's cracked ton, 114, 99 against the Warriors, and then a 124. Like, I don't know. Is Munster really like that pressing? Yeah, I don't know. I'll see how he comes back from Origin. People are definitely jumping on him, and I get it. He's 660k, which is very cheap for Munster, but I mean, it sort of shows he hasn't been as good this year. Like, he started the year on fire, 65, 78, 74, 114, and then a low one, 99, 71, 87, like pretty damn consistent for sure, but then 35 and 42, then 124, 124 in round 15. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not that pressed to bring Munster straight back in. The center wing, again, I talked about it, but Chans, after their tough little run coming up, after like Origin and after their final bye, I think Chans would be a great pickup. If he loses a bit of cash, he would just be a really good option. Other than that, I don't know. Let's have a quick squeeze at the center wing. I mean, Campbell Graham, I think Campbell Graham probably is a better option than a what's his face, fucking Johnston. Jermaine Asako as well. If he loses some cash, I can't go up 800k for him. It's just he's done me dirty. I just can't do it. Can't bring myself to do it. And then you know, they're all decent. I mean, Herbie's averaging 60. He's actually owned by 10% of people, which surprises me. I feel like he always goes under the radar, but he's just consistent. Nick Meaney's been good, but he hasn't hurt people too much. Gagai's been very good. Penasini, he's had a couple of big ones, but yeah, Chansey. I mean, Greg Marju as well. He's probably the one really consistent guy you would like to have. But yeah, nothing that screams like you have to trade in. So at the moment, I'm pretty content. I was keen to save a trade, but at the end of the day, getting in Piacore, I was always looking to get in a Sheepy soon anyway. And he's going to be playing in the starting back row spot for the Broncos for the next... again, I'll have to double check on the injury sort of outlie there, but I think it's said like 6 to 8 weeks. I think even potentially longer. So I think that's the way. Let's have a quick look because this is going to be the toughest thing this week, is actually deciding who to sit and start. So all right, so obviously Gutherson's not playing, so Buller straight in. Center wing, so Garrick. I mean, Garrick's a definite a fullback. He's just a definite. Val Holmes, Cowboys taking on Tigers. Yeah, you got to play him. Ronaldo taking on Dragons. Yes, I think so. And then Johnston against the Broncos. No, fucking not the Broncos. The Warriors at Media Stadium. Maybe not. Panthers play Melbourne, so you probably don't play Taruva. Jared Croker takes on Gold Coast. You could go Croker. Honestly, if Croker's fit, I'd probably go Croker. He's just looking really good. And then the Roosters take on the Manly. I don't know. That's actually a tough one. That actually is tough. I mean, as good as the Warriors are, I still feel like Johnson could do good work. Like, Cody Walker is matchup proof, really. Like, he can, against any team, he can create space and get Johnston away. So you probably play Johnston just for the upside, I think. We obviously play Cody Walker. Joey Manu, we obviously play. Nico Hines, obviously. Sean Johnson, I mean, you've got to put the reserve on him, I think. There's no doubt. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. This is where it gets a bit goddamn tricky. So, fucking the back row, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Who are the best options? I think Hopgood. I do think Hopgood over Bateman. Nikora. Oh no, Hopgood, they don't play, dude, you idiot. That makes the decision so much easier, of course, you fool. The Eels don't play this game, so that's beautiful. I don't know why the hell I just completely forgot about that after just looking at Gutherson on the bye, but I'm a damn fool, and life is great because now I don't have to make the decision. So, yeah, they're the back row. Front row, Harris Tarpany, Nelson, of course, on the edge. Love to see it. Obviously bad for my Ali Katoa, but Nelson, you know, he could do great things again. And then Harry Grant, and you gotta play Cookie. I know he only got 41, so who am I not playing? It's actually okay. It's actually pretty okay. So Manu and Johnson are definites. Nelson's a definite, and then I guess Cook is not definite, but would you play Piacora? I mean, honestly, do you play Piacora against the Dolphins? Maybe you do. Like, Cookie has been good, but the Warriors forward pack is really strong. I don't really see Cook just busting through the middle in this game. It could happen, but I do think the Warriors forward pack is like fucking real good. So maybe you play Piacora. You know, a lot of people are going to bring him in, but are many people going to play him? Probably not. So he's actually a decent pod play this week against the Dolphins. And then, you know, Taruva, Croker, Smith, they're all okay options, really. But I think it's out of Piacora and Cook. I don't know. I don't think going Piacora is going to be a disaster. He could get 40, but I mean, Cook could get 40 as well. Like, they haven't been great. And then Grant, I do think you play Grant. Like, I don't think... they do play Penrith, but again, I do think Grant is a better option than Cook still. So you go Grant. It's just... I'll just have to make the decision. I'll make the decision based on how many players. And the thing, I've got I've already got Walker, Johnston, and for Warriors, I've got Harris. Just Harris. Yeah, just Harris. So I've already got plenty of Rabbits. I don't have any Broncos or Dolphins. I'll probably play Piakura just because it's just nice to have a player in the game, right? It's just nice to. You just don't like to share it around too much. But let's look at captain, vice captain. So, I mean, Nico Hines. I mean, it's the perfect storm, right? The Sharkies are taking on the Dragons. The Dragons have been god-awful. Ben Hunt doesn't want to play for them. They don't have a coach. They've been getting towed up in previous weeks and some big scores against them. The Sharkies I mean, it used to be the Eels were like the ultimate, downhill skiers, but the fucking Sharks are just the epitome of like just beating up on bad teams. They just do. Every time, man. Which is nice. It is nice to sort of have that luxury. And then they're coming off a bye, which again, like, I don't know the numbers, but like consistently throughout the year, the teams off the byes have definitely like been a lot better. So Hines is just the perfect storm. Now again, like when it's too good to be true, like does it usually happen? Not really, but I mean the decision here is, do you go straight captaincy? Now if I look at my team, I don't hate, like, the thing is, like, you got to weigh up the risk, right? Because if you go straight captaincy, obviously anything can happen, but that can happen with any captain. So it's not really about that. It's more that he might not play that well. He might get an okay score. But even if he goes like 60, 70, let's say, who else would I want to captain? Because let's have a look at the high scorers in the team. So, I mean, I wouldn't be confident going Grant, obviously. The front row, I mean, no. Tarpany's solid, but he's not going to be more solid than Hines anyway. The back row, I mean, Nikora, no, because he played in the same game. Corey Horsburgh could be a very safe captain option, but again, is he really going to score any more points than Hines, even if Hines doesn't absolutely kill it? Probably not. The 5'8", so Cody Walker, Manu. Cody Walker plays against the Warriors, so it's not easy. Joey Manu against Manly, that could be anything. Manu in the centers. If he doesn't get the ball, he's not going to score anything. And then the center wings, Garrick at fullback against Roosters, not terrible. Holmes against the Tigers. It's tempting, but I mean the Tigers have shown like that they're not great in like at conceding Supercoach points. Like they're not walkovers. And then I think Hines straight captain is just the best option, because then if Hines only gets like 70 points right, you probably don't want to loop, but I wouldn't be that confident of like anybody else in the team going better than him. So I think I just go the straight captaincy. I just think I think it's just worth the potential risk of something happening, because I'm not that confident of any other real captain options in the team. So I think I'm going to straight captain. It could absolutely ruin the whole weekend, but we're going to take the punt. And I mean, I just can't, unless something, like if he gets injured or knocked out, we're going to be stuffed. But if he doesn't, like, I can't see him scoring poorly against the Dragons, but we'll see. I think that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll have to just decide if I'm going to play Johnston or Croker, potentially, or if I play Dylan Cook, Damien Cook, or Piakura. So it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to stuff on my team because I want to have a quick squiz again at round 19. So let's have a look how we're looking for round 19, shall we? All right, so Gutherson's obviously playing. Buller's playing. Mulatalo's playing. Johnston is playing. Garrick, no. Holmes, no. Are the Roosters playing? No. So these guys aren't playing. That's fine. Cody Walker is playing. No Joey Manu. Nico Hines. Well, we don't know. Like, I'd be shocked if Moses is dropped for game 3 and Hines is brought back in, but you never know. I mean, we'll say he's playing for now because I'd be pretty stunned if he wasn't. Johnson is playing the back row. Now, Horsburgh. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. So, Horsburgh obviously has been incredible, but now, fucking with Flegler being out, Corey Horsburgh is really firmed as probably the bench player now, right? They could go Hopgood. So Hopgood also could be out for round 19, but I think Horsburgh, he could go with like a Christian Welsh, I guess, one of the old statesmen, but I feel like Horsburgh has been that good. I would be shocked. So, I mean, I'll say he's playing for now because, you know, he hasn't played the first 2, but we'll class him at the moment. Cartwright and Hopgood are playing. Beautiful. A whole fucking back row's playing apart from Piacora. It's a strong back row now. And then Harris plays. Tarpany does not. That's fine. Solomona does not. And Fainu does not. And then obviously no Grant or Cook. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 at the moment. Is Gary not playing? Did I read that right? Yeah, he's not playing. So we got 12, potentially 11, which isn't great, but that's honestly fine. Because obviously we could. There's obviously a max of 3 trades next week anyway. I don't know who I'd want to bring in though. Like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, looking at the teams, I mean, another Sharkies player, like maybe taking a punt of like a Sione Katoa, because he's pretty cheap at the moment, and if the Sharks, they have a good draw coming up, he could click and score some points. So I don't hate like a Sione Katoa in for one of their centre wingers. I guess it is annoying that the Roosters don't play, because honestly, I probably would have taken the punt on Suoli'i next week for bye coverage, but potentially after bye still. But I don't know. Tigers players, there's no one really there I'd want. Sharkies again. We got Nakora, we got Hines, we got Mulatalo. Do we really want another Sharks player? Again, Sione Katoa, I don't hate. Jesse Ramian, maybe, but you don't want too many of them. Dragons. Oh no, what am I talking about, dude? Fucking Raiders playing, you fucking idiot. Oh my god. The people at home watching this are gonna be yelling at the screen. What are you fucking talking about? The Raiders are playing. God damn it. This is why I need Supercoach Plus, dude, because I could just show the fucking buys, but we don't have Supercoach Plus. Oh, you damn idiot. So we put Croker. I don't know. I feel like I am holding Croker now till at least next week. Just get rid of fucking Holmes. Obviously Tarpany plays. So yeah, we got 14. We got 14 players for round 19. So we're good. We're fine. We are absolutely fine, dude. And then around 20, I think we're pretty good for round 20 as well. So no Dragons. Here we go again, dude. Here we go again. I gotta remember who's not playing. There's no Dragons. There's no... Oh, for God's sake, dude. Why is it so hard to read? You know what? I'm not gonna go through it again because I know we're pretty fine. It's fine. It's fine. No Raiders, no Dragons, and one other shit team I don't really have. Or maybe we do, but it's fine. We can cover. And it's looking pretty good. So after round 20, that's when we plan for the run home. We'll have 11 trades remaining. Like I said, bring in Fafita back and Cleary back. So that's 2 trades. We'll be down to 9. We'll probably, we'll have to make a bit of cash for that. So 3 trades, we'll be down to 8 trades left. And then those 8 trades, it just, depending how Origin gets through, do we pick up a Munster? Do we get like I said, do we get a Suoli'i? Maybe. Bit of a pod play for the run home. There's other pod plays you can do. And with 8 trades, we could take a little bit of a stab at it. So as long as things don't go crazy, we should be okay and looking pretty good. So yeah, hopefully you guys. I thought yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I think overall it's looking pretty damn good. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.